שמכם ולא ישבת שבו ונוחו ביום שבת.
Shut up to the Beach Boys.
דרש נביא ועולמי ועוד ישעשה עמי מתעשורך בתוך כרמי שאי שבת בני עמי דעי חוכמה לנפשך והיא כתר לראשך נצור מצוות קדושך שמור שבת קודשך. לי 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 לי
If anyone can guess the name of that song by the Beach Boys, put it in the Facebook feed.
As we get ready for Shabbat, a little more beautiful Shabbat imagery, Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Shav Harachaman Meshoch El Retzonah Yarutz Avdach Himoraya Yishachaveh El Muhadarach Ki Erav Lo Yedidutach Mino Suf vechotam yadur Adonai eziv ha'olam nafshi cholat ahavatach ana elna refana la Noam Zivach אז תתחזק ותתרפא והייתה לך שמחת עולם יאי ניי ניי יאללה ניי 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 יאללה ניי 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 יאללה ניי 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 Yalla nai 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 nai, yalla nai 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 nai, yalla nai 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 nai, nai nai nai, yalla nai 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 nai, yalla nai 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 nai, yalla nai 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 nai, yalla nai 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 nai, yalla nai 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 nai, yalla nai 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 nai, yalla nai. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, ay ay ay, havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim. Adonai al mayim rabim kol Adonai b'koach ay 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 kol Adonai behadar kol Adonai shover alazim
V'shaber Adonai et arzei halvanon Vayar kidem kemo egel Lebanon V'Sirion Kemo ven re'emim ay 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 ya nay 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 ya nay 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 ya nay nay ya nay 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 ya nay nay ya nay 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 ya nay nay nay. A little nigun to get us deeper into Shabbat. Ya nay 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 ya nay ya nay 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 oh 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 ya nay 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 ya nay 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 ya nay ya nay 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 oh ya nay 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 ya nay ya nay ya nay 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 ya nay 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 ya nay 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 ay 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 ay. Get out your tambourines. Ya nay 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 ay 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 nay 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 oh 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 ya nay 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 ya nay 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 ya nay 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 nay.
Rabbi Max loves a good tambourine.
I love a good tambourine. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome once again to another wonderful Shabbat here from Temple Emanu-El. We are so glad that you are joining us from your living rooms, your kitchens, your dining rooms, your bedrooms, wherever you happen to be joining us this Friday night. We are so glad that the weather didn't keep you away. I hope that the drive was easy. You have the best seat in the house. My name is Rabbi Max Miller, and I am here with Rabbi Rachel Miller, and we are so glad that you are joining us this Shabbat. If you would like to participate, and we really hope that you do, you can find our Daf Tefillah pinned on the Facebook feed so that you can sing along with us. Grab that second device, we all have them, and open up the Daf so that you can follow along, singing with the words, the transliteration, reading the translation. That's actually very nice. And enjoy Shabbat services with us. We can feel you singing from your homes, from wherever you are joining us. All right. So, shall we begin with a little more nigun?
A little more nigun. Everybody make sure you're saying Shabbat Shalom. Say Shabbat Shalom to Stephen Blick behind the computers and to Mark Feinberg behind the cameras as well, as we join together in one more, two more. We'll see how it goes. Rounds of the nigun.
Get your tambourines out.
Ya nai 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 ya nai ya nai 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 oh 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 ya nai 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 ya nai ya nai 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 oh nai 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 ya nai ya nai ya nai 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 ya nai nai ya nai ya nai 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 ya nai ya nai ya nai ya nai 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 oh ya nai 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 ya nai nai ya nai ya nai 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 oh ya nai 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 ya nai nai ya nai ya nai 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 nai. Friends, as we enter this first Shabbat of 2021, as we breathe ourselves into this space, I think it's going to take a few extra breaths this week. I mean, we'll do 3, but they're going to be, we got a lot to
But they're pretty
exhale.
extra.
They're a little extra, that's right, as the kids say these days. So as you start to feel yourself coming into a space for Shabbat, sit comfortably, perhaps join me and flutter your eyes closed, feet on the floor, back against the chair, both if you can reach. Let's take a deep breath in together. And let it out. This next breath, we're holding all that those Shabbatot before, back in 2020, all of the different ways we felt connected to the world and to God, new ways. We're gonna hold that, and then we're gonna let it out. Deep breath in, and let it out.
With this third breath, we become so very present in the year 2021, our first Friday night, our first beginning of Shabbat for the year ahead. Deep breath in and let it out. I invite you to flutter your eyes open.
As we light our Shabbat candles at home, if you have not already lit your Shabbat candles, now is the time to get up and go over to those oil cups or those candles wherever they are in your home and to light them. And I invite everyone to please rise and join us in our bracha.
Page 120 or page 4 in our Daf Tefillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kinishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, as we welcome in the angels of Shabbat, bringing us in like we bring in the light of Shabbat with our candles. We do so with joy and gladness. Shalom Aleichem, the bottom of page 4 or page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Having welcomed the Sabbath angels, we turn to page 6 in our Daf Tefillah, or to page 138 in Mishkan Tefillah. The Chadodi welcoming in those Shabbat angels, or not the angels of Shabbat, we just did that.
The beauty of Shabbat.
The beauty of Shabbat. The Sabbath bride, the most beautiful thing that we can imagine, whether it's a person that we think of, a moment in time. We want to hold on to that throughout the hours of Shabbat. And with these words of L'Chadodi, we have that chance. We have that opportunity to truly welcome in Shabbat fully. And it helps us to feel Shabbat as well. L'Chadodi, page 6.
L'Chadodi likrat kala, yananai, 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 pnei Shabbat. Nekabela, ay, 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 L'Chadodi likrat kala, yananai, 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 pnei Shabbat. Nekabela, ay, ay, Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, ישמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, ינני 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 פני שבת. נקבלה, לחדותי לקראת כלה, ינני 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 פני שבת. נקבלה, לקראת שבת, לכו ונלך
שמחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה, תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה, ינני 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 פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, ינני 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 פני שבת
Nekabela, we rise and face the door to our homes. Boi v'shalom, ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzohola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, ינני 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 פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, ינני 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 פני שבת נקבלה. As we enter deeper into prayer, we prepare ourselves for Shema, and to get there, we have to take a few steps. We walk up in this journey towards perhaps a castle, Shema being that center of the inner courtyard. As we make our journey through prayer, Baruch Hu is that first step onto holy ground. As we rise for Baruch Hu, we enter that holy space, doing so on page 7. I don't know where I got 9 from. Page 7 or page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
As the evening has come earlier and earlier, and now as more light increases in this new year of 2021, we roll into dark. Still page 7, but on in our daf tefillah. Join us.
Roll into
dark,
roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll
into dark,
roll into light. Night becomes day,
day turns to night.
Borei.
Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei yom.
Roll into dark.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. As we enter 2021 with the most intentionality possible, at this moment when we are standing as one people Yisrael Echad, we close our eyes for Shema, and tonight we will pray Shema one breath at a time.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Friends, page 8. We have our Ve'ahavta, also page 154. This is our prayer that reminds us to be Jewish and how to do it, to wake up ready to be Jewish, to go to sleep ready to be Jewish. I don't know, do you dream? Can you dream? Have Jewish dreams?
Yeah,
Definitely,
for sure.
definitely. And so it's this idea that we should always be mindful, that we're constantly thinking about how we can be a Jewish person in the world. And ultimately what that means is, how can we be a good person in the world? How can we make the world a better place? And I know 2021, that clock turns. I'm going to be talking about it in just a little bit. And suddenly it feels like there's a shift. Gives us a little motivation. And so as we chant these words of Ve'ahavta, I want you to be thinking about how will you bring more Jewish life into your personal life and into the world around you. Ve'ahavta, page 8. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha vehayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך. למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Our song of freedom, the song our ancestors sang on the shore of the sea. As I think about important words of the year, the word that always strikes out to me about Mi Chamocha is freedom. And certainly in 2021, we hope that we gain the greater freedom to go about our world once it is safe for us to be together once again. Mi Chamocha, page 9, or on page 158.
Yay, lay, 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 yay, lay, 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 yay, lay, 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 yay, lay, 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 Mi Chamocha, here we go. Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha ne'eda b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei feles, Nora tehilot osei feles. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך one more time.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושי פלא, נורא תהילות עושי פלא.
Friends, our next prayer, Hashkivenu, page 160, or page 9, still page 9. This prayer is that shelter. So although the Israelites were on their path to freedom in this prayer of Michamocha, it's not as if they were free from all harm. And so we have this prayer, Hashkivenu. It's that reminder that we are each in our own wilderness sometimes, that we seek a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace to be over us, whether it's our mental energy that is in need of a Sukkot Shalom, or even our physical being that needs that Sukkot Shalom. And so we give praise to that with these words of Hashkivenu, page 9.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Shabbat is only Shabbat when we bring joy and gladness to our day. No matter what the week was, Shabbat is the time for us to simply sit and be, hopefully with friends and family. These days, not so much, but we stop, we rest, we smile, and we sing. Vishamru, page 10, or page 162.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת,
Good Shabbos,
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת,
Good Shabbos,
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים
עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
Good Shabbos.
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי
שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. Good Shabbos. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו
בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
All right, friends. We're here. It's 2021. And as I look around, it still looks a lot like 2020. But that little change of a number from 0 to 1, it's just that. It's a change. Something that feels like a transition. The change from 0 to 1, it marks a moment in time. And we love to mark time in Judaism. We mark the new moon with Rosh Chodesh, Shabbat and holidays with the candles and Kiddush, the new week with Havdalah, and the list goes on and on and on. Marking time helps us to stay motivated, to distinguish the holy from the profane, and in the blur of work from home, it helps to differentiate the day-to-day, the week-to-week, and month-to-month. As much as we will look back on 2020 as an unprecedented year, I'd like us to take a moment this Shabbat to reflect on the blessings that filled our lives. In 2020, we learned more about our home life than perhaps we ever imagined. Many of us likely noticed the flaws in our walls, that door that seemed to squeak no matter how we tweaked it, that crooked photo that just wouldn't sit quite right. And finally, we were home long enough to find the time to make some repairs we'd been putting off, to clean that closet we'd been meaning to go through, to reimagine our space. But more than the material items, our home also became a place where we likely existed more than ever. In the walls of our homes, those with children just had the chance for more bonding time than they ever imagined, and I pray the positives of that experience outweighed the negatives for you. Family dinners and precious time that would have otherwise been lost to the busyness of a go-go-go lifestyle as FOMO, the fear of missing out, turned into JOMO, the joy of missing out. In 2020, we learned new skills and discovered new ways of living. Some of us baked bread for the first time, sourdough and then banana bread. Then there was the yeast shortage, and many of us moved on to pickling everything. We did puzzles in the early days, texted our friends when a store restocked their supply of toilet paper, disinfecting wipes, or paper towels. We set up Zoom trivia nights, and then we hit the wall of Zoom fatigue. We put on makeup in the early days of our Zoom calls, and then we kind of stopped doing that. Drive-in movies had a revival, and dog shelters emptied out as furry companions were adopted en masse. Some of us learned how to video chat for the first time, and others learned about stage lighting and audio inputs and outputs and open source cross-platform streaming. That's how we're on YouTube right now. Many of us got outside more. We walked new streets or new trails, and we appreciated the fresh air. In 2020, we were resilient, and we found the inner strength to adapt. We're here. And yet, of course, I must take a moment to recognize the extreme feelings of loss that accompanied our resiliency. Life cycles canceled, postponed, or reimagined. The death of beloved friends and family due to COVID-19 or other causes, but then our typical mourning process was redefined due to the need to keep everyone safe. Surviving this year was itself an achievement. And though in some ways the changing of the year number is arbitrary, It's a motivator. It's a marker of time. We made it to 2021 with an FDA-authorized vaccine being distributed to healthcare workers, with those next in line waiting with anticipation. Now, we're not out of the woods yet, but as the clock struck midnight and the 0 became a 1, the nation likely took another deep breath in. And as we close out the book of Genesis this Shabbat, we reflect on the opening stories of our people. That creation occurred as God spoke the world into being and breathed the breath of humanity into existence. Ipach ba'afav nishmat chaim vayhi ha'adam lenefesh chaya. God blew into his nostrils the breath of life, and ha'adam became a living being, so that we can return to breathing that breath of life sans mask. It's time to keep up or perhaps renew our collective grit. And I pray that 2021 will be a year that brings us back to something similar to the before times. I pray that the vaccines find speedy distribution and effective protection. I pray that 2021 will be a year where we continue to find blessings in the midst of difficult moments, as well as the opportunity to find blessings in moments that feel more familiar. I'll close out this evening with a story I once read about a little girl and her calendar. A little girl was speaking to her mother as the new year began. She said to her mother, "It's going to be a beautiful year." "How do you know it's going to be a beautiful year, dear?" "A year is a pretty long time, and you never know what will happen." "Yes," she responded, "but a day is not a long time at all. So I'm going to take the year one day at a time and make each day beautiful. Years are only days put together, and I am going to make sure that if I find something beautiful every day in the new year." May we be like the little girl, finding the beauty in our day, one day at a time. 2020 is behind us, and though we may dream of what March, May, or August 2021 might bring, let us remember that we get there one day at a time. Happy New Year and Shabbat Shalom. Our service continues on page 166 through page 170, or you can join us on page 10 in our Daf Tefillah. We rise. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem. Sorry about the wrong line in there. We're praying for rain now.
Yeah,
Yep. Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach,
מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We take a few moments for silent prayer and meditation. And once you've finished those prayers, we, of course, invite you to take your seat.
Page 14.
Shalom Rav al
Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom Lechol HaShalom Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam V'tov be'einecha levarech Et Amcha Yisrael Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
All right, friends, some announcements on behalf of our Temple Emanu-El president of the Board of Trustees, Robert Wittenstein, and on behalf of the whole Board of Trustees. My pitch this week would be for my class. It's called Tu B'Shvat.
Tu B'Shvat?
He's been waiting all week to say that. It was a missed opportunity for advertising. Tu B'Shvat.
Tu B'Shvat?
Tu B'Shvat. So if you've ever wondered or wanted to learn more about Tu B'Shvat, the holiday coming up here in the month of January, please join me on Wednesday at noon to learn all kinds of stuff about Tu B'Shvat. Well done. Well done. All right. It is time for a little Shechianu, my friends. So if you have good things going on in your world right now, we invite you to please share with us the good in the Facebook feed right now, and we'll be checking in on those in just a moment.
Especially if you're a bar bat mitzvah student.
Yep, let us know you're here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rabbi Max, what's good this week?
I am very grateful this week that I got to spend some extra time with friends that we don't see that often, and to connect over a 5-year tradition of...
Yeah, it was like, we have not been around anybody. What do you mean?
No, we haven't been around it, but we talked on FaceTime, but
Yes.
we have a 5-year tradition of spending New Year's Eve with the same friends, and we kept the tradition alive through FaceTime and cheersing toast to L'chaim before New Year's Eve. It was actually noon Year's Eve. We did it at like 1 or 12.
It's true.
Yeah, but it was still nice. That's something that made me very happy.
Awesome. Let's see, for me this week, I got to do a lot of studying and prep for upcoming classes and services and that Tu B'Shvat class that I'm teaching. And so I just got to really bury my head in some books and do some nice rabbinic study, and that felt really awesome this week. So did you check the Facebook feed?
Oh.
Oh, uh-oh.
Boom.
Let's see. What's going on? Oh, it's not coming up. Hey, Steven. What's going good in people's lives?
All right.
All right, so we've got folks on schedule to get the vaccine. Are they coming in?
Oh, here we go. All right. Mazal tov, Ben Stone, new job.
All right, and Rabbi Max now has the feed, so what else is going on?
We have people here visiting their family, and so getting to see all their sons over break, new job. Janet Stone. I thought it was Ben Stone. I misheard you, Stephen. Janet Stone, congratulations. And
we're going to get calls from Ben Stone now.
I know. Ben Stone's still working for the same place.
Okay.
And grateful to be with dear friends over Zoom, and a lot of joy this evening for Shabbat. And so we're thankful that all of you are sharing Shabbat here.
Beautiful. So to mark this moment, we join together in words of Shehachianu, found on page 15.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehachianu vekimanu vehegianu lazman hazeh
So just as we join together for these moments to share all the good, we lift each other's spirits as well when times are tough. And that is why we have words of Misha Berach to follow up that joyous moment, to say, yes, we are strong and have times of joy, and we know there are those who need a little extra healing of body, of spirit, and of mind. And so the congregation is especially thinking of Brett Samsky, Andy Rush, Marie Goldstein, Laura Rush, Harry Dunn, John Margolis, Zohara Aviva Bat Harav Moshe Reuven V'Harav Rachel, Alvin Levy, Benny Edelson, Cynthia Smith, Mutalipa Ben Devara Halevi, Matthew Wilcox, Deborah Braun Schwartz, Renee Waltzman, Jeffrey Siegelman, Max Gans, Annie Solomon, Heather Walensky, Harav Ilana Miriam Bat Chaba, Stephanie Eisenstadt, Rabbi Stanley Davids, Risa Davids, Katie Siegel, and Zara Clare. If you are reciting words of Misha Berach, thinking of someone in particular tonight, and you have permission to share their name, I invite you to please do so now in our Facebook feed. And if you are praying with others in your home, get a little close, wrap an arm around. In case anybody didn't know, I realized if there's like somebody joining for the first time, we are married and live in the same home, so we can do this. And so friends, if you don't have the chance to pray with someone tonight, please know that we are holding on to you as well. Misha Berach, page 15, please rise.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor habracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
All right, everyone. Now is the time to raise whatever you're drinking this evening: grape juice, wine, champagne. We had leftover champagne from last night, a lot of leftover champagne. And so whatever you are raising up, grape-wise, now is the time for Kiddush, so that we can bring in the sweetness and the joy of Shabbat together in this new year. Join with us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
Delicious.
And we will remain standing as Rabbi Max heads over to the Ark. You want to take this? You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Heads up to the Ark for Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 17. Aleinu L'Shabeach La'adon HaKol, La'tet Gidula Le'yotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu K'goyei Haratzot, Velo Samanu K'mishpachot Ha'adama, Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem, V'gor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam, V'anachnu Kor'im, U'mishtachavim U'modim, Livnei Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You can close the Ark.
Yeah? All right.
V'hashevota,
V'hashevota
elevavecha,
elevavecha,
ki Adonai,
Ki Adonai,
hu ha-Elohim.
Hu ha-Elohim.
One more time.
V'hashevota, V'hashevota,
elevavecha,
elevavecha,
ki Adonai,
Ki Adonai,
hu ha-Elohim.
Hu ha-Elohim.
Here we go.
Ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, Lemelech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo echad. Please be seated. As we near the close of our service, we pause for memory. And a lot of this evening and this time that we are in is about remembering the year that was, all that we gained, all that we lost in 2020. And when we remember, especially at this moment in our service, when we speak the names of our loved ones, we bring their memory to our lives, and it becomes a blessing. So in our congregation, we are mourning for those families in the first 30 days, Shloshim, for the families of Lynn Moss, Patty Eisler, Zegi Libby Bat Charlie Rose, Lois Marie Burkle, Rita Lillian Levine, Michael Tuckman, and Ben Hertzman. And those yard sites which occur around this Shabbat, Ruth Barrell, Lillian Brody, Sylvian Brownstein, Harry Cohen, Amy Joy Cohen-Callow, Maxine Deutsch, Arnold Ellison, Sylvia Fink, Sheila Fisher, Aaron Friedman, Judith Freuthal, Mildred Gerson, Richard Granith, Carrie Held, Ann Horowitz, Ann Katz, Israel Katz, Eleanor Katz, Bernard Kabrinsky, Howard Kuttner, Julius Lindy, Martha Miller, Josephine Needle, Benjamin Pastman, Lynn Pollock, Francis Risner, Adele Schmid, Augusta Schrage, Nathan Seidel, Jerry Sherman, Mel Siegel, Albert Simpkins, Marie Klein, Irvin Kuttner, and Gloria Sack. If you are in the first 30 days mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to please rise. If you are in the first year mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to please rise at this time. And if you are commemorating a yahrzeit, the death anniversary of a loved one, I invite you to please rise at this time. And if it is your custom, as it is here when we are gathered at Temple Emanu-El, to rise for those 6 million who perished in the Shoah, and for those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, I invite you to please rise now at this time for Mourner's Kaddish, page 18 or page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. Yana nai 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 nai. Yana nai yana nai nai nai. Yana nai yana nai nai nai. Yana nai 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 nai. Yana nai yana nai nai nai. Yana nai yana nai nai nai. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Happy New Year. Wash your hands, wear a mask, social distance, and have a wonderful Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.